we'll have Joeharry versus fRazer, as I will call him. fRazer is his name, so we're just gonna go with Razor. But the draft is in front of us here. We have the map draft. Joe has chosen Nomad Hubs as his home map. Razor chooses Battlegrounds, and they band out to have Forest as map number 1. And then as far as the civilizations go, Joe has banned Burgundians. He'll have Mongols, Dravidians, Lithuanians, and Teutons. Italians were sniped away. And then Razor banned Gujaras, and he will have Incas, Malians, Hindustanis, and Tatars, with the Byzantines being sniped from him. So we have another best of 3 here. This is for the 1700 bracket. Gonna load into game number 1 here in a moment. We'll be on Forest. I know this is, again, a weird time for me to stream, but with so many sets coming in, I'm trying to get every set knocked out anytime I have some free time. So that is what we're going with today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the tournament so far. I know I have, and I think everyone else is too. So we'll diving in here. Capture Age is firing up. Game number 1 between Joeharry10 and fRazer AOE is live. All right, Razor going for the Incas here in blue, while Joeharry, or Wharton Knight 8. Let's just fix that now. Let's just fix that now. Let's fix this now, because I know him as Joeharry. It's gonna drive me nuts otherwise. So we're gonna switch his name to Joeharry10. He won't mind, I'm almost certain. Nonetheless, we have Mongols for him here. Mongols, a civ that is dangerous to be allowed on this map. Honestly, surprised that we haven't seen it banned more often, but we did not see it sniped. We saw Italians sniped instead, which is quite interesting. Let's see how that all pans out here. fRazer with the Incas, a civilization that has become very popular after the last few updates. A lot cheaper military cost on food, and, you know, they're a mesociv. Everyone always loves the mesocivs. Incas do have that wonderful unit, the Slinger. See if that comes in play. Against the Mongols, though, I find it quite unlikely. The map is Forest. For those who don't know, there are 4 forests, or main forests, and that is where we get the name from. Shout out to Hitch, as always, the map maker. It is his fault we have these maps, and thankfully we do, because we've had an insanely good number of games on them thus far. And all things considered, I am very pleased with the bracket overall as far as the competition has been concerned. And we'll see how this goes here. I mean, I have to give the upper hand to the Mongol player here, Joe, because, I mean, they're going to take the hunt so fast. The Loom is already in, which means he's probably going to be bringing in as many of these boars as possible. And we'll see how this one goes. Looks like he is going to walk past one to bring in 2, most likely, anyways. Makes a lot of sense here, I think. Obviously, with the Mongols, with Loom. The horse is coming over here, but I don't even know if it'll have time to catch up in order to block this. Looks like he may just be passing by it, not even going to have much of a chance here. So, is what it is. No blocking going to come in, but he will, or at least should, have an idea that this is coming. And that villager needs a garrison into the town center. Joe's got to be careful. He could lose this ville. It walks too far away. Not even going to be a concern. 2 boars under the town center here. But we do have Razor coming to the middle here. He will just line up and take these in this fashion. Elos, for those who are wondering, fRazer AoE is currently sitting at 1506 Elo. He's peaked at 1586, while Joe is at his current peak elo of 1638. So obviously a bit of a discrepancy there from elos. So we'll see how this goes. fRazer obviously going to be the underdog in the set here. Now, although the food has come in, obviously we'll have to see what the uptime looks like. I mean, he is headed out here very far now. Now he is going deep. Joe is going to be doing some blocking with this lure. I think he's going to try to pull 3 of these in. It's going to be very, very ugly if he can't get it done. But the boars should start to block one another. He cannot get too far out of the way here. Otherville is coming forward as well. Villager has already lost a little bit of HP. A nice block there, and Joe is going to be bringing in 3 more boar. He's already taken the 2 under his town center. No food under the TC right now. That is a bit awkward, and it looks like he's actually headed out to the mill as he's worried about losing this vill. I think it makes a lot of sense here. That villager should survive if he's careful. Gonna be close though. He's gonna lose a vill here actually. Will lose a vill. These boars are dangerously close to some lake vills here. But all things considered, he's already lost a vill, but at the cost of a lot of food coming in under the town center here. Don't really know if it's that bad. Alright, some crazy luring shenanigans here. And this vill is far forward yet again. Joe's going to bring in even more. Holy crap. Joe is being super greed man here. He's already killed 5 boars. He's got his home boar here still, and he's bringing in 2 more. Feudal Age is coming for both civs. Joe making this look quite impressive. Some blocking of this boar. This boar is eventually going to have to give up, I think, right? I don't know how this is happening. That boar is actually following. This is crazy. I don't understand what's happening with this here. That normally I think this boar should have gone back, but it does not. He kills that one, so now he has to bring this in. This is just crazy food income, though. We have a barracks up already here, and oh, amidst all the mess of what we saw here, fRazer will lose a villager to a boar here. So both players have lost villagers to the boar. Forward barracks here for fRazer. And we see some very awkward and tight walls coming up around the wood line. Nothing by the town center right now, just exposed villagers out here. And the feudal age is upon us. Gold is what we're going to see Joe go for, as he will also go for that stable. Makes a lot of sense, really, with all the food he's got coming in. And I guess we're going to see probably... Nope. He's going to the archery range. And now he's going gold. Okay, so he's going for an archer play. Oh my gosh. Joe's the madman. Joe's the madman. Joe's taking so many boar. Oh, so many boar. He's got 4 dead boar in here now. He hasn't even taken his 1 boar at the home base here. The middle is basically empty of boar. There are 3 boar remaining. This is the cleanest the middle has ever looked here. So, quite impressive. Obviously, it takes a lot of practice to make that work. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. We do have a forward spear. We're going to have a forward forward tower coming up here. It's quite interesting. Forward house and then a forward tower. And we will see archers at some point. We do have 1 coming out already. The scout number, though, is going to be insane. When he sees this here, and he'll just build a tower in front of his gold. Actually really like this because he can obviously give this wood line up. Always go to another wood line. Not the end of the world. He still has some straggler trees as well. And he won't really be too concerned about much else as he'll head forward. And there is 1 spear defending the food vills here. Some houses and such here. The spear is out of place, but will come over This is going to cause some idle time, though. I think you just fight the spear. Definitely diving the archer, right? Guess not. Joe's not interested. I guess he really wants to take down the stable here. An interesting play. Joe has so much food. It's absolutely absurd, actually. He's still sitting on 2 boar, and he's got a 3rd still alive over here. The wall up, though, these scouts aren't really going to find much damage. They could come back to the villagers on the boar, but all things considered, that's really about it. The economy is way better for Joe behind this. This is what? Spearman is not even patrolling. That's going to be a great exchange here. Joe's going to pick off a spear and an archer for very little. And, Razor loses another Vill here. He stands to lose another one, too, here. As he goes after this. Yep, Joe's paying attention. He goes after the Vill there. And a few scouts out here going to deal with this tower, potentially. All said and done, though, Joe has had quite a bit of idle TC time behind this. We'll need another building to go up to the next stage. Will be the blacksmith coming in. And then he'll be on his way to Castle Age. Wall in some forward vills here. I like fRazer's idea here of going more aggro, but he's very forward. It's going to be quite risky. And again, the villagers are going to dive here. Bloodlines did come in. This could be 4 dead vills. They will fight. Oof. Villager count is getting equaled out here. And all the vills go down. We will see this archer go down as well. And Joe is on his way to the Castle Age, as he will grab the foraging upgrade here as well, killing the horse scout. The stable is obviously under threat, but I don't think Joe's really too concerned about that at the moment, as he's shifting onto stone quite heavily. Oh, and there's a hole in the wood line. This is devastating. Foraging's already in as well, so these villagers will go down quickly, and Joe takes game number 1 in very, very quick fashion. Very quick fashion indeed. 17-minute game. Just insane to lure all the boar in, really. I think Joe ended up with like 7 boar, and he didn't even take the one at his base. That's the risk if you put Mongols out here, right? It's always a risk. I mean, I actually think that a drush on this map might be preferable if you see a civ that's... or if you see your opponent luring that many boar. I don't know. It's a very interesting situation. Joe takes game number 1 here, quite decisively. I'm going to shift over to the Civ draft again. You see the victory for Mongols, the defeat for Incas. The next map will be Razor's home map of Battlegrounds, and we'll have to see what civs they go for and what the situation looks like here. We swap over to game number 2 after an insanely fast game 1. This is only a best of 3. So let's go to game 2. See if Razor can force a game 3, or if Joe takes the set 2 games to none here. Joe will play with the Teutons, and he will be in purple yet again. And the Teutons are a civ that I find very nice on this map. I think they're actually underrated on this map. And then we have the Tatars, another civ that I find that will do great on this map. Great bonuses here, and actually, Tatars, if they can get to the CA numbers that they need to micro back and forth, that really puts Joe at quite the disadvantage, to be honest. We'll see how things progress, obviously, through this set. I have enough time for this set, and that's assuming it goes to 3 games. After that, I will be getting back offline. I have to go pick up my daughter, and then I will be back after I get all the kids to bed here a little bit later to cast at least 2 more sets tonight. So that'll be around 9 o'clock. I'll be back for all of that. And that'll be sets 3 and 4 that I will have casted today. I did cast 1 set this morning. Lots of games have been coming in today, though. The deadline for the 1600 bracket is for the 1300 bracket, round of 16 is tomorrow, which is nice. And we've got a lot of games to go with that bracket. It's going to be quite interesting to see how everything progresses, obviously. We have lots of games to come. We're still in the best of threes. We're still in the big numbers here. This is a round of 32 game for the 1700 bracket. And obviously, we'll have to wait and see how everything progresses. But Joe going to be scouting a lot forward. He's got a few sheep at home. Still a lot of them out here. And I think he's looking around to try to find as many of those to bring home as he can. fRazer has not gone out. He's just been pushing his deer. Didn't even find all of his sheep. And those sheep are even more valuable for the Tatar player, given that they will have more food on them to collect from. It's quite nice. But all things considered, the first game was an extremely quick game. I think that's the quickest forest game that I've seen thus far, to be honest. To see what Joe has up his sleeves for this one, I'm definitely rooting for fRazer here. I love seeing these sets go to 3 games. Some awkward pathing here. He gets it all fixed and situated. We'll get it perfectly under the town center. And Joe elects to go for the mill at home here. Still has a few of these still coming in. He's going to grab a few more. A good job to grab as many of the herdables as possible, as the Tatar player will get a bigger benefit from those than any other civ, right? 150 roughly food on them for the Tatar player. But I like both civ selections here. I think the Tatars obviously benefit from this map because there's hills all the way around the middle area. Not to mention the wood lines are all on a downward slope going towards the edge of the map. So any raids with any unit could do nice with that hill bonus. And the sheep simply being worth more food for the Tatars is quite nice. The Teutons, though, have extremely cheap farms, and I think that can really benefit them a lot here. We have Loom coming in. Guess he was just housed, maybe? Or I thought he was going to be housed. Not Loom. He doesn't send anything to the middle. He didn't mill at home. I think Loom was just simply to try to get up faster. Joe also grabbing Loom. It's going to be rather close. Does have a lot of food here. 100 food there, 46 food there. So should be able to drop off and go up rather quickly. We do have fRazer on his way up. And we'll see the barracks coming down here at home. Going off for another wood line. Definitely looks like a scout's play here. Joe has not clicked up, but he is idling. There's the force drop, and he is on his way to the feudal age as well. Will be about 40 seconds behind. Against Tatars, who's likely going scouts. Potentially going to see that wood line walled in. Always hard to say. Joe didn't get two of his own sheep here. So both players missed out on 2 of their own sheep. And Joe might find the sheep that actually are for fRazer. And oh, that scout eats the town center. We'll only have 3 HP on it. That is always rough. I think both players will find the sheep from the other player, potentially. Nope. Guess he will head back this way. Guessing for a scout-heavy presence here. Which is always exciting, kind of how I've envisioned the map. Stable will be coming down here for fRazer. Villagers for Joe are running out of food around the mill here and will be forced to move to a new resource. He has a ton of wood though. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some cheap Teuton farms coming up here, as well as the stable. Stable will be dropped here. Morville's shifting back, and he's waiting for his upgrades before he drops any farms. That makes sense. I guess he's not. They're gonna actually be fine. These farms finish after horse collar comes in. They will end up with 250 food each. And those are Teuton farms, so they are extremely cheap. Both players have the same idea here. The sheep are just passing. And actually the sheep for fRazer, he might just be hiding them. A spearman in defense, potentially another one. That scout did lose a lot of HP. And the scout here will just be making its way across the map. Another spearman coming up. The Teuton farm numbers, though, already up to 9. Will be 6 here. And both players did get both of their eco upgrades nice and early. Yeah, a lot of Teuton farms coming down. I think this is why the Teutons are underrated here. The food economy is going to be absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, this sheeps get stolen. So Joe is trying to bring them back. They'll get stolen. Gonna have a house over here. Back home for fRazer. He is on some wood lines. This one's going to be depleted before too long. Have to send them to another wood line. Stable production has ceased though, as Joe now has 6 military in the field compared to just 3 for fRazer. These little houses are very nice and kind of preemptive for some vision. We'll see the blacksmith coming up next here. And there are spearmen in defense, so there's not a whole lot to worry about until we see larger scout numbers. Right now, fRazer not really committing to military production. This could come back to hurt him. There are a few spears in defense, though. The wood line, not walled in. Gold is. Scouts move in, they see the spears, and they will run. No surprises there. Market coming down here, so buildings will be up. Those houses are right in the middle of farms, which is extremely awkward. But nonetheless, the eco pretty safe for both at the moment. Scout production has continued. Joe is actually going to grab foraging here nice and early. He's looking to do damage. He's looking to do damage, investing more into this age. As soon as foraging comes in, we might see him dive on some villagers. A very nice attempt of blocking these here. Joe does in fact see it and pays attention to it. We have 4 sheep hiding over there. And yeah, Joe gets foraging. He'll dive on the scout, so some downhill hits there. Doesn't get the vill. Kills the scout though. Well done indeed. Wheelbarrow on its way in here as we see bloodlines coming for Joe, as he's going to go very, very heavy into upgrades here. Now, that said, the farm counts are pretty even. 16 to, well, I guess not anymore. It was even enough, and now we have a lot more of them coming down here. Joe playing this one extremely open, as is fRazer. fRazer really just walled in the gold miners to protect them. And he hasn't really done much with the gold, so let's wait and see what that's going to be used for. Maybe he'll try to buy his way up, but we have wheelbarrow now coming in for Joe as well. A little bit more idle time for Joe, as he's been managing the economy, and he dives! Bloodlines is in. The spearmen will get taken out. The villagers are in trouble here. They will have to run. Don't think a single vill went down there, though. Nope, all they got was the kills on the spearmen. Joe turns back to take a fight yet again. He will clean up another spear. He's going to clean up the scouts. Woodline is walled, it looks like. So Joe cleans up the military. Both players getting very close to clicking to the castle age, though. And fRazer did go ahead and buy some of those resources. So he'll be sitting pretty happy with that position here. It's a lot of farms, though. 26 Teuton farms. And Joe is about to click up himself. Will be first to click for fRazer, though. And there's Joe's click, and it looks like it's queued behind a vill. So this timing will be about 18-20 seconds away. A villager has lost some HP. It's really about it, though. Don't really know if Joe can do any more damage with those scouts. Farming numbers on this side, 26. So 10 more farms. I guess only 9 because that hasn't been taken out. Stable. Number 2 coming down. So the Teuton player will go heavy into the scouts. And the spearmen are going back and forth. So there's some vills that could be picked on here. And this vill could die. The upgrades are here. Good blocking, but nope. Nope. Doesn't get it. Don't know what happened exactly. How he hit the farm a few times. That's what happened. A bit awkward there. Wondering why that didn't die. But a few of those hits were against the farms. Bloodlines now coming in for our Tatar player. We do not see anything. Okay, there's another stable. So I think our Tatar player could actually open up with Camel here. And it would be pretty justifiable. Spearmen are not moving though, and these are downhill hits. And that villager likely going to lose its life. Yes, it does. Another vill, perhaps. No, the spearmen do show up. There's a weak vill, though, if Joe's checking. It looks like he is. And that's the thing about the higher elo. They will punish you like that. Forward town center going to be coming out. While Joe will make knights out of 2 TCs, will grab, or 2 TCs, 2 stables. There's his town center at home. And we have +2 and both eco upgrades coming in for Joe here. All in all, very close game. Back and forth here. But all things considered, the KD is very in favor of Joe here. And the camels are going to be here. So camel numbers are showing up. Now, there's going to be a TC to help protect this side. Potentially would be good to see some walls on either side from Joe, just to protect. But these are camels. The camels are not so good at raiding. The camels also are missing a lot of upgrades. Right now they have bloodlines and +1 defense. That is it. So, to be honest, the camels cannot take archer fire under the TC, and they should be pretty weak against the pikemen here as well, who are still sitting on this hill here, waiting for their moment. And this could be bad though. The wood line is going to be under threat, but note the camel's turn. He chooses not to turn and fight this as he sees all the military is here. Big fight will ensue. They're going to fight back and forth for position on the hill. We do have a monastery going to be coming out. Joe and Razor just positioning on the hill right now, not allowing either player to sit on said hill, and Joe will switch into pikemen here behind this. It looks like there's only 3 of them on the field right now, and they aren't going to be engaged in this fight. As the fight comes in, the pikeman upgrade will finish, and that will help out a lot. There's only going to be 2 of them left alive, but Joe will lose the initial fight here, and the villagers run. The villagers are running. This could be good for Razor. He could take a few villagers out potentially, but they're just not that great against villagers. 1 vill, 2 vills go down here, a third. 3 vill loss here. More pikemen in production. We are going to go pikemen. I think we're going to have to see an additional barracks added, and another vill could go down. Nope. These camels are getting weaker and weaker. The economy behind this is starting to spread. A conversion came in on the camel on the front. Fletching now in for Joe. He is stabilized for the moment. He's not on all of his farms. He needs housing right now. Has not built that just yet. A lot of these camels took a lot of damage. 8 kills though. 2 eco kills. Pretty good. Especially for someone who has gone 3 town centers behind this. Now Joe is floating a lot of resources here. His military number is lower, but he does have the pikeman number growing a little bit. I guess they only have 3 again, so Joe doesn't really want to go into pikeman. Alright, and we have ourselves an interesting game for sure here. Obviously, we're going to heal these up, right? This is a higher elo, so we're going to see this more and more at the 1700 bracket. That's a great value for those who've gotten already. town center will go up. The knights and the camel that was converted are headed forward, likely going to try to do some damage in the economy. And we already have a relic gathered, as we have the infantry armor upgrades coming in for Joe, and then sanctity here. So he's going to add some monks. He's already got some pikemen defensively at home. Farm numbers still looking pretty healthy. This has been seen, but has not been caught up to yet. They are going to wall this in. Joe not going to be taking a good fight here. But I think he will kill a camel. At least it's not a complete loss of his units. He is paying some attention here. And we still have infantry upgrades coming in. There are now 6th and a 7th pikemen coming out. Villager count has really started to expand here, as it is 8 villagers for fRazer, and Joe is actually now 10 villagers behind. So, eco's looking better for fRazer. Much better for fRazer here. The fight comes in, and it is very much in favor of the camels. Not really much to go about on that one. Obviously, the camels are going to be a little bit better there. Yeah, I got a little bit of time. Cast at max 3 games at another weird time of day. I pinged the players. Was like, hey, I've got some free time. I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna cast another set. And if everything goes well, I'll be casting 2 more sets later, or at the usual time as well. So that'll be 4 sets that I will have casted today. Joe stonewalling. He does not wish to deal with problems coming, as he is going to go to the Imperial Age. With a low eco, he didn't manage to get a town center out here. He is still missing that building. He is rushing up the university, and he will click up to the next age here on the forward town center, which is risky, Joe. Very risky, Joe. Stone walls are coming up, though. Economy pretty safe. I think you should wall this up across the front with some buildings, and it looks like it will be full monk pikemen for the moment. We have 6 villagers, a 7th villager on stone. So he's going to be looking to get that castle as well, and some very awkward area gathering here for fRazer, but his economy is superior. And the pikeman fight is in. The camels are taking this fight. This is actually another great fight for fRazer here. Although the pikemen are starting to chew up a few of these camels. And that exchange ends up still being better for fRazer, wiping the military pretty much off the map here. We are going to see more barracks coming in. Now, the big problem here, though, is if Imperial Age comes in, and by the look of it, it will, Halberdier will shred camels. These camels don't have full upgrades either, so that could be problematic. There's no way he's going to kill this town center, so Imperial Age will be safe to come in. Mass production here. He actually needs more barracks, probably. He should probably buy some stone and get a castle if that is part of his plan. And oh, these guys are playing on standard victory because there's only 2 relics on the map, and it's always awkward when that happens. Read the rulebook, Joe and fRazer. We're not playing on standard victory. Ah! Lovely, lovely. Imperial Age has been reached for Joe, and the click was not long ago here. The pikeman numbers will, again, do decently here, but can't believe he's taking this fight. Why not wait for your Imperial Age upgrades for both players here? Obviously, you take this as Joe, because you want to trade the pikeman, right? I think that's a fine thing for Joe to do. And he's going to trade these off yet again. The camel numbers are getting eaten. And there comes the camel, or the castle forward. Halberdier cannot be afforded just yet. But we do have the last armor There it is. Alright, everything's coming in. The last armor upgrade, plate mail armor, and halberdier, as these have all dove under the town centers here. And that castle might not go up. No quick walls. Have to wait until the halbs come. Joe sees it, he'll back up. These camels won't want to stay here with the pikemen, and soon to have the archers. Not the archers, the halberdier upgrade coming in. We do have pikemen under the town center, and they are now halberdier, killing some villagers. And this is actually not a good fight at all, as fRazer's throwing the camels away, essentially. We do have the ranges, we do have skirmishers, but the skirmishers only have fletching. Joe will move out for another town center over here. But this has secured a lot of the map position here, and to be honest, the halberdier are doing great work. The eco lead was much larger moments ago, and the halberdier have killed a ton of vills. It's now 21-2 on the eco KD now. Gonna see siege added behind this. We still have some monks around. Joe's eco behind here is safe. Some vills trying to fight vills over here. Halberdier continually raiding right now, and fRazer is having trouble producing. He doesn't have the production coming his way, and that is a castle coming down in the middle of the map. This town center is going to be taken out here by a trebuchet. The military numbers are just simply everywhere for Joe, and the skirmishers have to try to deal with them. This villager, or this halberdier, has 4 kills and it's on 3 HP. Quite awkward. We see some siege added here, and oh, the castle! Is the castle going to be denied? I don't think so, but we already have the treb shooting at it. Town center will stay up because of that. And the castle does go up. The mangonel likely to die here. Joe is sitting in an interesting position though, as there were no castles on the field. We see Keshik pop out. It's not going to do any good against the halberdier. And it's full skirm right now against Pike Siege. Resource-wise, gold's not even worrisome for Joe. He's actually just been buying and selling, it looks like, for the most part. And the upgrades have been coming in. This castle is eating stone. And Joe is looking to take it out. He will not have a problem with that. Looks like that third treb will pop, and then he'll take it out very soon here. Mangonels behind this will be able to deal with the skirms. That castle does in fact go down. And now the trebuchets will take out production buildings, will take out a town center. Somehow Joe went from a really awkward position to getting the faster imp, to taking better fights, and just throwing halb. This guy is the hero. 12 villager kills on this halb. Going for more. It's just gone unnoticed this whole time. And Joe is adding some cavalry behind this. A few knights, probably just for some raiding, just to deal with some of this here maybe. And actually, Joe could potentially afford onager momentarily, should he want to go onager. This halberdier ends up with its 13th kill, and it retreats back to join his buddies, tell his grand stories. Step Lancers. The Tatars have terrible infantry, so going infantry against them is really quite a fine answer, all things considered. Step Lancers will come in, but there are plenty of halberdier to defend, and the skirmishers are about to get rocked. Oof, so many skirms going down. Mangonels will get cleaned up, but Cavalier is coming in behind this, and a lot of the skirm numbers were taken out, or they were damaged. A lot of HP has gone down. Treb over here taking out this, and we have shared gold situation going on. Cavalier come in, There's no Cavalier or no Step Lancers on the field now. fRazer looks like he's in trouble, and it's going to be game over right here. fRazer's going to call it. He has nothing left. He lost his positioning. The Trebs are taking everything out. His skirmisher numbers got destroyed. And GG. Joe takes this set quickly. 2-0. One of the few quicker sets we've had. The Elo was a bit better for Joe here, though. I think fRazer was about 100 points or so south. So, do appreciate you wanting to participate in playing Joe and fRazer. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. That actually was quicker than I thought it was going to be, but that's alright. Like I said, I was only going to do the one set right now, and then I will be back later to cast 2 more sets. We're going to update the bracket really quickly here, though, before I head out and go pick up my daughter. You are looking to avoid spoilers. Now is your one and only warning to look elsewhere. But congratulations to Joe as he will move on here 2-0. Again, this was a round of 32 matchup. Joe's the 8th seed. fRazer is the 25th seed. So fairly common in the early stages for these higher seeds to progress. We'll just have to wait and see how things work out. As you can see, Shaman did beat Lonzo, so it's not always holding true. But nonetheless, that set is done. I've got 2 more sets that will be casting around 9 p.m. Will be the time that I start as normal. That way I can knock out hopefully 4 sets today. So GG's to both of these guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will be back later, like I said, to cast yet another set. And we'll go from there. But if you guys haven't already, please do consider following if you're enjoying the tournament. It's been an insane bracket. We've got this bracket really just getting underway. The 1300 bracket has been very interesting as well. We're already advancing into what will be the quarterfinals fairly soon with that. And one quick note, Moketo is no longer in the tournament with us, and to resolve the issues here moving forward, we actually have Gold Roger stepping up, and he will take on Sam Ball, and the winner of that will progress forward. I'll update the bracket here a little bit later and swap these scores and such around, so the bracket will show what is actually going on. But otherwise, that's going to be it for me for the moment, guys. I will be back later, be casting another 2 sets, starting around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is roughly, what, 2.5 hours?